sweet peeps, welcome back to Wee Trees. In this episode we're going to be focusing on the Auld Wee Tree up here, where we're going to be creating a proper, fully functioning beaver enclave over here. Now let me stand atop my old scarecrow friend so I can explain a bit more. See, we have zip lines knocking about on this map. Going now to the old chode tree over there. But more importantly, we've got a zip line connecting the Auld Wee Tree there all the way out of the big Auld Wee Tree district into this little island, which is purely part of the Auld Wee Tree. Now, if that didn't make much sense, that's fine. That's how we do things round here. So currently, we're in the Auld Wee Tree district, and if I hippity hop over there, now, I'm in the big Auld Wee Tree district. Now, we have just came out of a dry season, so we're loving this lovely temperate season. We've got the Fountain of Joy that's up here chucking water down across all these swimming pools, which will soon be in use. Now the question is, who is going to be the lucky beaver to found and fully settle the Owl District? We're only going to need one of them. Who is it? Who's going to be the leg end? They should be working. Yes, we've got the light on in here. Zagday! Oh, you're taking the shortcut! Look at this cheeky little beaver! The went straight over! That's the joys of having soft borders. You can just cross them if you need to. But I dare say this calls for a mad beaver planting speedy up it! And of course you didn't get these two beavers planted, you what? You must have went for some water, and now you're going back to get some bloody food. Well, if I knew that was the case, I would have got ready on the bloody zip line, so I could catch you coming across. Oh, let's get the proper mad angle on it. Yeah, we're going, peeps. He's going to be zipping along and he's going to be planting the last of the bloody beaver plants. Now, before you park your ass up there, I want you to go be useful elsewhere in this bloody district. Look at him. He's zipping along. He's all the way over here already. Now, old mate already has some food and some water. And what I'm going to do is just let old mate do his thing, store his dandelions. And honestly, I would really rather you just take the water out of the other shop, you know. Like, properly would rather you just do that. Where you off? Where's he off and what's he got on his back? That's a bag of dough, that, isn't it? Where you going with that bag? Oh, that's right. Yees are the laddies with the bloody mud pit. Oh, we haven't even got these swimming pools open yet because these beavers have not yet swam in these pools over here. And if you've been noticing a lot of jump cuts while I've been doing sentences, it's because of this. The game is lagging because something's just been built. And they're going to do it again and again and again, like it is now, until once again it's built, and then we get jarring effects. So, I think I either need to just wait around, or say about turning it into a lemonade with a lemon situation, and having ourselves a mad fairly quick, because it's got to be fairly laggy, so it needs to be sped up a lot to look good. Speedy up it. Alright, we officially look to be calming down with the lag spikes. Now, do we still have a beaver doing here? We didn't. I've already left an editor's note, so we will have zoomed in on the beaver doing there. Looking all mad flying in the sky. Now, I have a feeling I may have blocked all of this off with this laddie here. Oh no, look! That's the stairs there. Well, if I pause this, then I shouldn't be blocking it. Oh, this is all paused. Fair enough. I've clearly already pre-done all of this nonsense here, including pausing that. You know what, past MiGly? You are clearly thinking. I'll let you continue thinking. How would they an hour here? I saw the beaver Bobingabout. Are you still alive? Are you still kicking? Do you have any brethren? Now we still got one beaver. But how close are we to getting some more beavers? Oh, look at these bad lads. They're so cute. The adult beaver is a little under halfway. And the babby beaver over here is our halfway done. Now looking at with 219 scrap, I reckon we can get away with just having 4 beavers spread across 2 mines. Now crazy. Now I am a tad concerned with these batteries here. They seem to be falling at an alarming rate. Can you not hurry up and spin around a bit faster, pal? We've got a consistent 600 power draw here. Oh, and something we can do. We can go ahead, connect the fancy hedge path in there, and that will connect these baths up for our Owl District Centre. Alright, mate, I'm going to follow you around until clock off o'clock, and then I'm going to see what you're up to. Oh, you're just sitting in there doing out. Well, in that case, let me pause the hauling post so you can just be a general unemployed beaver. Where are you off, pal? Oh, he's off to see the wonders of the bad water system. Oh, he's off to chop logs. You can get paused, pal. Are you becoming a builder now? Is there anything for you to build? I just wanted you to mill a boot so you can have a bit of a swim, you know? Make up for not having any shelter. Ooh, it looks like there is some building to be done. That's right. Now, I was planning on having the Big Owl District Centre build that. They simply just need to pop in this last platform, which is only a couple of hammer blows away, and then they could have got round and built it if necessary, you know? And if you're going to be building stuff that the other district could have built, I'd rather you be planting some mangroves in here, and maybe even picking some of the fruits out afterwards. There he goes, planting mangroves like an absolute leg end. We'll leave him to it, give him a bit of peace. And we got beavers banging away on this roof and all. I changed it up a bit, because the way I had the corner, there was a gap where you could see through. I mean, yeah, it's not ideal now, you've got this big wooden crease, but I am sort of butting these two corners up together, and it does look alright, so I can't complain. It's a bit like a structural tree corner, you know? Maybe every tree corner's got them, but you just don't see them, because they're not as dimpled as this bad lad right here. Now, it's grand to see with beavers cracking along, demolishing all of this stuff over here. It does force my hand at how are we going to get water over here, because I've kind of built some trees in the way, and I can't go over the edge because then I'll be gone now at the edge. Although, you know what, I said I was worried about those batteries. Having a look at the big industry here, its batteries are doing an all. It must just be a fairly windless temperate season, but it's a nice long temperate season, so I can't complain. Have we reached any sluices yet? Not this one, but we will definitely have reached the sluice under here that is stopping all of this from greening up. Fan-bloody-tastic. And to be honest with you, beavers, it's about time. Got your tails over here and started chopping down some dead trees. Now to do in range. Oh, aye, that's right. I wanted to do something with this to avoid the bad water being an absolute pesh tech. Let's connect with a fancy hedge path up and deploy some sluices. Oh, that's right. I have to put the mod back because it's the edge of the map. What is this, though? A decorative dam top? Oh, it's just the top of a dam. Let's make use of that, shall we? We've got some big, fancy decorative dams over here, well worth 100 science points. And then once I pop a couple of levees atop here, we're going to get even more fancy food dams. Now that, beavers, is a maximum priority job if I've ever seen one. But critically, what this sluice is going to do is close below contamination 1%, which is the opposite of what this sluice over here does. So when bad tides come occurring, the bad water no longer has to corrupt all of this so badly, it just pisses straight out. You know what, actually, I'm going to get proper fancy with it here. Let's recess this in one. Levy, flat top floodgate. Of course, we're going to have some ladders down for the beavers. And the primary reason we're getting ladders down is so we can demolish those bloody blockages right there. But before you do that, beavers, I've got a very important job for yous. It's going to mean deleting these sluices that you've just popped in, which you've done a wonderful job on, thank you very much, and replacing them with 2 rows of flat top floodgates. Right, now that should allow me to get a stream gauge built, and then for the rest of it, we're just going to have to wait until all of this is done, aren't we? Oh, and we've got a drought approaching, so you's best hurry up, although you's have had the longest temperate season available in hard mode. And you're 91% the way growing, you big, fresh, adult beavers. I see we've got one homeless beaver, which should only mean we've got one happy mangrove planting beaver. And look at him. He's planting mangroves, happy as Larry, as I said he would be. Oh, and he can have a bloody fly about now. We're definitely going to have to come back here clock off a clock and see what old mate gets up to like. I mean, if you were a beaver in the historical Auld Wee Tree settlement all by yourself, what would you get up to after clock off a clock? While waiting for clock off a clock, let's sort out this area right here. Ooh, look at the connected textures. Now this bloody catches us off guard, but it is lovely like. Ooh, that's what I wanted to test. Is this all connected? It is. Beautiful. And then we're just going to have to sacrifice 3 bloody trees. And we may as well do it right in the middle here. Now we're going to have to make sure, like absolutely make sure, that we've built these levees and this paused flat top floodgate before we blow those bloody holes in the ground. So you know, beavers, get amongst that. Pretty please. I just realised this can all be high priority because I can very simply slap another ladder on there, and that's how beavers can get out of the tippity top if needed. I don't think they'll need to though, because the beavers can go from this path here all the way to blowing up the ground. Alright, it's clock off the clock. We should have a Zeitage coming through any second now. Mr. Zeitage? Oh, I must have bloody got whiff that I was up here. Reet, Mr. Zeitage, I know you are working over there, and I just want to know what you get up to when you clock off. Are you out here having a contemplate? Having a bit of a swim, perhaps? Nah, he's not swimming over here. He wasn't contemplating. I can't see him bobbing about up the top there. Maybe he's bobbing about up here. Enjoying the view, perhaps? Bro, what are you bloody doing? Like, for reals, though. What are you actually doing? Because I don't know where you are or what you get up to when you clock off. I mean, no doubt at this point in time you'll be in bed. But where was he the whole time? Oh, got 9 homeless beavers. That means I missed some bloody beavers growing up. Oh, we're 100% on here, but they've got to grow. That's right. The adult beavers have got to grow. But these laddies divney. What we need to do is get old mate unpaused, so you can stop planting mangroves and get back to planting more brethren. So where are the babbies? Would we have seen the babbies? Or did they not go up here? Surely. We didn't have any babbies up here. We're going to have to watch what happens. I bet you they just cross over there and gone into the big old district. Well, if that's the way ye freshly grown beavers are playing it, it looks like we're going to have to put a bloody fence up in it. A big, dirty, metal fence at that. But we'll have a gate here for a big old wee tree has. And honestly, you better hurry up and get all that in before the next batch of beavers pop their bloody sprouts. And I feel like it's only right to have some contemplation spots up here. And once again, finding a use for the branch. We didn't have that big corner knocking off anymore. Alright, here we go, beaver. Bang that last metal block in and fully block off the Auld Wee Tree District Centre. Ye can do something useful, pal. Actually, what's the bloody food situation like up here? We should have ye slurping, shouldn't we? Let's unpause the big old water slurper. And I am going to be absolutely stalking these adult beaver plants. I want to say exactly how and why they go where they go. But not before getting these demolished at a maximum priority and setting up some proper fancy automations over here. Turns out we don't need this at all, never mind being all smart and that. We do need a bit of extra height though, so we're popping in some terrain while simultaneously blowing up some terrain. Oh, look at our tag team beavers. One of them getting all wet in the water and one of them staying all dry floating in midair. Both simultaneously banging away at these blockages. I mean, I reckon if I yap on young enough, you know, these two barely handy legheads will get it all the way out of you. Now, can you imagine what word almost was said there? I'm sure the British people watching knew exactly what word was almost said there. It's all fun and games, man. It's all bloody fun and games on the MiGly Plays channel. I've also just realised my whole plan here revolves around that working, which it doesn't. So basically, I'm going to put 1 high platforms all the way across there. That's all going to be covered with impermeable floors. Now that insult to injury, I'm going to replop the terrain block in there. However, I'm going to make this deed efficient by simply terrain blocking across the tippity top there. And with a little help from our friend over here, the stream gauge, we can set up some advanced automation. Now I do believe I've got these set up correctly now. So the bottom layers, basically I had these set at default, which was 0, and then they would go down to 0 and push all the water out. So I've set the floodgate heights to be all the way up at 1, and the threshold's at 0 on both of those anyway. But I'm hoping whenever bad water hits this, and it gets above 5% contamination, this override will kick on and boost it all the way down to the bottom. And then this bad lad is purely set off height. Once it gets above 295, it goes down to 0.95. Stops it from all our spilling. And what that should do is keep this whole area nice and green for it. Especially once we remove the terrain going all the way back into here. Because believe it or not, but while excavating the foundations for the chode tree here, we actually went ahead and found that we've got a 29-day drought inbound But beside the prophecy that foretold the 29-day drought on cycle 26, there was also a massive pile of natural blockages. So we're going to have to utilise those bad lads along with some proper fancy pants cove levees. Look at those bad lads sticking out there. Now we are unfortunately going to have to delete these blockages. But there was loads in the stockpile, so we'll just plop them back on top once we've got the fancy carved levees on. And by the looks of things, we've got some empty lumberjack flags. So let's test that theory by... Ooh, bloody hell, I'm deleting fair a bit here, and I'm not going to have any rubble. That is fan-bloody-tastic. No rubble this way either. I'm not going to lie to you, peeps. I'm pleasantly surprised with that. We managed to delete all of those flags there and not waste a single bit of resources. If it even gets wrong, we're still waging a war on deed trees. We've got to chop them down at some point. You know what, Zagdai? Since you're sitting there day and out, why don't you go ahead and pick up all of the water from these water tanks, as well as the tanks themselves, of course. Any green growing ground in this area is precious ground. Whoa, 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 who's the scavengers? He's coming and twocking everything. Look at these mad lads. They're jumping across bloody district lines to steal all of the bloody logs and planks. As long as he's on twocking the water, I'll turn a blind eye. I mean, honestly, Beavers, I figured you'd be having better things to be filling your time with. Imagine being the beaver that's been here by yourself the whole time and all of a sudden the other districts just pouncing down upon you, taking all of your planks and metal blocks and that. And our big old wee trees have made the unanimous decision to fancify their district. Not of a massive amount, just enough to let the old wee trees know who the fancy pants beavers are. Or at least who they're pretending to be. Because have you seen this district? You got the Fountain of Joy feeding your swimming pool, but the big difference between the two districts is these beavers can actually swim in their pool, unlike these pools over here, which are completely blocked off and locked off until the water level in the lake allows the beavers to swim up here. Which, if we didn't get a 29-day drought, may have been this bloody episode. Oh, will you look what's being built? It's being built. It's official. Let's leave all of that as minimum priority though. We are going to run out of water up on this top level, so we may as well enjoy it for as long as beaverly possible. And instead, focus on what we're going to be doing with the water once it's underground. And didn't worry, OCD peeps. The fact I didn't have a chestnut tree planted here twigged us to the fact that it needed to be 2 floodgates, not 1, so it was nice and symmetrical in the middle. What we're going to be doing here, simply removing the terrain, and then we're going to make ourselves a wee underground pit that'll keep this whole area nice and green. That's currently Auld Rome. But that's not everything we're doing this drought. We are going to be diving properly underground and making this whole irrigation system here ridiculously efficient. Because it's next up, it's next down, it goes all the way around, and it's just honestly wholly unnecessary. And I'm honestly thinking about bypassing the majority of the pre-built irrigation system. All I care about getting irrigated is this top bit with the dandelions / grape farm, and that's all irrigated by the water we can see on the surface here. That's fine. Down here, down here, down here, we could very easily just go off to the side and go and ploop, fill the bloody lake. But if we do that, we're going to bypass this sluice here, which we put in especially to keep this bit all pressurised, which, you know, does help with, as you can see. But I believe the best way to connect in is via this new irrigation system where we planted all of these bloody trees. What if we just continue it underground here? How easily can we connect in to where the sluice is? Alright, mangroves. I know for a fact that we're online because it's this line here where it is. Let's go and doon again. That could work out very nicely. But since we want to maximise the green growing ground, let's go underneath at this level here. Oh, bloody perfect. So that'll be a simple remove terrain. Let's line ourselves up right over the tippity top of this block. So we can go and do another layer, remove that terrain, and see where we'll lie. Oh, not half bad. I reckon we should just go sideways here, straight to the left, dump in at the top. A bit like this little hole here has them doing anyway. There we go. All the way in, connecting like nobody's business. Now what's this up here? How are we being affected by that? Nothing. That just keeps this bit like mildly green when it's fully pressurised. Something else that's doing nothing is that hole right there. Get bloody filled when we get to it, beavers. So this is the bit of water that leads onto the sluice and then goes straight into the big Auld Lake. So we don't care about any water beyond this point. I'll put a sluice on to be nice, but it'll be permanently bloody closed. Now what else do we need to close off from here? Oh, hang about. I don't need to do this bit because we're already connecting in doing there. Although no, what I'll do, instead of this being a removed terrain, I'll have it as a tunnel and we'll put an impermeable floor on. There we go. I'm happy with that. Oh, forget all of that. Look at this beaver. They're about to grow up. They should grow up. There he is. He's just grown up. He's sitting on his horse. Hello, beaver. Right. We need all of this back on. And we need to be proper there. Keeping an eye on things. So what are you going to do? He's a hauler. Automatically a hauler. That could be either district, to be fair. Oh, the fresh beaver straight up. Where's he gone? He's going to be coming up here. Coming up here. Whoa. Oh, he's ziplining. He's ziplining. Look at him. He's off on one. And let's just see this beaver here do the very same thing. I guess that's how they access it. I figured they were just going to walk across there. But that mustn't be a real thing. Anywho, let's get on board with bloody Quavonia and have ourselves a big old zip out into the infinity. Or over to the Auld Wee Tree. Oh, yeah, we're gone, peeps. We actually have beavers! Look at him, he's on the rope! No! No way. Nah. No. Nope. No, thank you. What are you doing? How? And why? And what? And... You have turned my world upside down. Oh, just like these two stranded beavers. How did he end up stranded? How did you do it? How though? You know what? I don't think I want to know. Just please, other beavers, rescue your special brethren. Oh, and I just clicked this beaver. They're working in the big Auld Wee Tree as well. But why? The only thing I can think of is this bridge connection. So I'll completely sever that. I'm going to delete the rubble because if this isn't it, I'm just going to cheat it back in. This is purely testing. So now, beavers just don't have a choice to go over there. There's no like direct connection that's being annoyingly blocked by, say, a big metal fence or something like that. Ye are properly part of this Auld Wee Tree here. And who's next to sit on the horse? You've just been born. Where are you? How? How though? And let me guess, Zoddy, you're just going to go all the way up there, down through the tree and around it. This is proper perplexing me, like. I was sure that they would just join the district centre because it's here. I mean, we can work around that. We can always work around such limitations. First of all, we'll get the big tree back in. Oh, dev mode. Finish now. Now, since this is utterly pointless anyway, let's get it deleted. Be gone. All of this. And I mean, all of it. We are properly fresh starting this bad lad. Completely forgot that I put bloody doors on here. We've got proper ground level access. In all three corners. Not four though. Because we've got bloody ladders blocking this back direction. Now it does mean these beavers are stranded. At least they realise and recognise that when they've grown up. And there's no way off. They're like, oh, I'm stranded. Well, would you look at this? We've got 13 beavers with absolutely now today. To me, that means we need 13 bits of lumberjack flaggage right down here. Well, 10 bits of lumberjack flaggage, because then I can just ask the beavers to increase the priority of these lumberjack flags around here. And hopefully, by the time this drought ends, we will have chopped down all of these trees. Now, although we got beavers zipping all over, different ye wee babbies fret, I've got a big old rescue plan in action. Let me get a nice over-the-shoulder shot of this adult beaver for a mad speedy up bit of the rescue bridge getting plonked in. There we go, man. We're big old district centre as different mess about. He's got his hauling pack on already. And then, buddy pal, I'll lead the way all the way to safety for you. Make your way across, wee babbies. Get yourself some food and some water. And you big old wee trees, but I've picked up all the rubble under here. Yes, have. Well done. Because we are going to be introducing an intermediary district. Which annoyingly for now means deleting this bit of path and making beavers go all the way around here if they want to actually connect through. But that's all in the name of plonking down a district centre? Hello? Must we separate? What? Didn't make us put a district crossing on. Oh, it's these bloody bridges, isn't it? Right now, yes, now it should be gone because I remember putting this bridge on the actual tree, not on the hour hand. Right, so now we should be able to pop a district centre on. What? It was connected the long way round over here, man. Right now, we should be able to put our intermediary district down. Finally. And thanks to us on pausing this bad lad in the last episode, we now have enough science points to go all the way up here and plonk in a 5x5 metal platform. Look at that big hat on the wee tree. Oh, what's this wee tree gotta be called? Intermediary wee tree. Intermediary tree. Oh, there's gotta be a play on that intermediary wee tree, like. We'll have to think about it. First and foremost, Forester. That needs to get built. Like, immediately. And I'm hoping the big old district centre will be able to help out with that, which it looks like they bloody can. Now, since this is just an intermediary wee tree, I'm not going to have, like, full-blown paths coming out of it. We're just going to plonk on some contemplation spots on the exits. And the same goes for over here, to be honest. We've got to make sure there's somewhere for the beaver to contemplate, you know? Oh, it's officially happened, peeps. We'll run out of water up here. We've still got our builder picking up what I hope is a water and putting it away. I do see you've got yourself a fancy umbrella tail painting, like. That's thanks to our tail painter. Just off the bloody side of the district centre, yeah? And I mean, like, we're in the district centre, and it's just off the side of it. Now it's time to migrate another brave beaver from the district centre to the district centre. And Lucian, pal, your new job, your destiny in life, is to plant beavers and contemplate about why you've been given such a job. And also, why aren't you planting beavers, mate? Any particular reason? Yeah, no. Plant beavers first, contemplate second, you lazy fagger. And even though all of this is built, I just realised the statue's facing the wrong direction. Which unfortunately leaves me with no choice but to demolish the lot. Ah yes, that's the way. So now we have the beaver bust facing the statues, as it should be. Oh, would you look at that? It looks like we finally have the big tree done. Or at least for the most part. I haven't been recording for ages because the game's just been way too laggy while all those individual blocks were getting plonked in. Now, one master plan I did come up with. It was something that we've dealt with earlier anyway. We're going to get ladders down this hole here. Replace the floodgate that used to be there with a sluice. And let me dive underground and show you the rest of the master plan. Essentially, it's paths going up here. We're going to have a sluice where that bit of path is as well. This bit of path continues over to the right here, where we're going to have another sluice along the top. But for now, we need beavers to get down and build a sluice in here and in here. So that will help push the water straight to a big old lake here. Now I am keen to see beavers flying across the path here. We'll have to have a clear path, so I'll put beaver statues either side to say, God, fly along! You know, give General Beaver encouragement. But you've got to be careful when you're standing up here. You might have to quickly dip out the way and let the beaver pass. But other than that, the plant... Woo! Hello? Is it working? I think it's working. We'll be able to know if these beavers are bloody on the brink of death or not. Oh, looks like they are. They absolutely are. So the plan, the whole point of this intermediary wee tree we got going on here is so we can set up migration between this district centre, which thankfully has 7 babbies in it. So I'll be able to tear it apart from the other district centre, which has just 1 adult in it. And then we are going to set this district centre to have 999,999,999 minimum requirements for beavers. No! Oh, I didn't realise the automatic immigration would go so crazy. I thought it was only between the bottom 2. So now we have all of our beavers over at the Auld Wee Tree with its complete and utter lack of power. I have a feeling you're going to need to get paused temporarily, pal. But to get our beavers back to the big Auld Wee Tree, let's click this district centre, migrate population, and I can only hope and assume that this district centre top left is the one that's clicked. So let's send all but one of our beavers over there and just see what bloody well happens. Do we now have 160 beavers in here? No, we don't. Looks like the beavers have returned home to where they should be. Yes, 160 adult beavers. They're just, you know, in the middle of walking back and forth and figuring out what district they're from and where they belong. You belong in your big old wee tree, beavers. Ooh, I thought that was a bloody battery smooth, but it's not. It was a highlighted beaver. But that does remind me that I do need to quickly just come in on here a little bit, because I'm noticing we've got 20 injured beavers and only about 6 beds. So we need to be getting plenty more triple-decker medical beds on the crack. So now that we've got our new medical bed tower under construction, we shouldn't have as many injured beavers knocking about the map. Oh, I see a beaver getting up with a big ladder. Where are you off, pal? Have you found that to be the quickest way to get out to your lumberjack flag, like? I mean, we may as well incentivise these beavers, you know? Get a little bit of a path drawn up here for them. Oh, yous are doing fair dinkum work, you laddies, like. And having a look here, peeps, the beavers, they can go through the impermeable floors, providing you've got a fancy ladder. Because I've got them popping the sluices in down here. That's going to stop the bad water from contaminating our lovely fresh area. I also had to extend the path over because these were slightly out of range somehow. I was going to say because all of these were in range, but they're not. That one there wasn't in range. So fair dinkum, beavers. Hang about! Oh no! All of these beavers have just died of thirst. I was just thinking, hang about, why don't we have any metal blocks? I was like, oh, it's a medium priority, not high priority. Maybe that's why, but no. There is 0 water! Beavers! On pause the water slippers! And we need to just pause these districts enter us. No, we don't. We need to make sure we get all of these beavers up and running first. And then we get everyone out of the other districts and try, somehow, survive in Big Old Wee Tree with 13 beavers that are all about to conquer the thirst. Look at all of the beavers that have died of thirst. I mean, our entire thing is just taken up of beavers that have died today. Who would have thought our here was the safest place to be? Tobat certainly did. That's why he made his way over. But yeah, now we need to get all of the beavers from over here all the way back over here to just slurp as much water as possible. Now, I think that means reducing the minimum here to 0. That should incur some automatic migration over to the district centre. And actually, let us be clever about this. Let's leave the babbies in the Ould Wee Tree here. So yous can all bob about, enjoy all of the food and water that's over here. 135 will see yous through the next 12 days. And any adults that are over here, they need to get automatically migrated all the way down here to slip up as much water as beaverly possible. There's not even beavers in there. Oh no. And with the only jobs unpaused being the large water slurpers, there's the 3 of them there, and the 1 hauling post, which is around here somewhere, trust us, there's only the 1 hauling post that's unpaused, and it's this bad, lad. Now that thankfully at least gives us some beavers knocking about in the large water slurper, some haulers to haul whatever they need to bloody haul about, but absolutely nothing else. Oh, but we need to prioritise dumping water down here. This is automatically unpaused itself. We need these unpaused. Oh, beavers! Oh, and apple trees have all dried up and died! Oh, peeps! And not that this was part of the plan at all for this episode of Wee Trees. I think we're going to have to whip out a good old-fashioned end of episode cliffhanger. Can our leaf coats survive the rest of these 12-day desperate droughts? Will we be able to finally get this migration system fully up and running? All will be answered in the next episode of Wee Trees. But that's future MiGly's problem, so I'm gonna take a nice relaxing time to think about this. And ye should have yourself a nice relaxing time too, because next week is gonna be heck-ass as usual up in here. So the only thing left to do is say toodaloo.